Om Ajnanatimmirandasya Gyanadangana Shalakaya Chaksurun Militan Jena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namah Sri Chaitanya Manubhistam Stapitam Jena Bhutale Sayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swaparandigam Aradhanastrinandantai Vridam Yache Puna Puna Srimad Rupa Padambujo Dulisyam Janma Janmani Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gauranga Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Yatra Vrajadipe Pura Pratima Prakasa Prasada Murda Kalaso Parinitarangi Barhikshate Bhuvijaya Dvajaketu Bhuto Nandi Saram Samaramandam Mudam Dadatu. This is one verse from Vishwanath Chakravarti Pad's Nandishvar Astakam. Now we've come to Nandagram, so he describes very nicely the vision of Nandagram. Especially if you're sitting in Brindakund, this is exactly what you see. Yatra Vrajadipe Pura Pratima Prakasha. Yatra, in that place, Yatra Vrajadipe, the king of Braj, his Pura. Pur means, just like this is Mayapur, and we know Jagannath Puri. Pur means city. Yatra Vrajadipe Pura Apratima. It is incomparable. You cannot compare it to anything. Apratima. Just like we make an image of something that is called Pratima. But this Apratima, this unparalleled. You cannot make any comparison. Yatra Vrajadipe Pura Pratima Prakasha. You know Prakash, shining. In that place, the very beautiful, the city of Nanda Maharaj is shining. Yatra Vrajadipe Pura Pratima Prakasha Prasada Murda Kalaso Parinitarangi. So there's a big palace. On top of the palace there's domes. On top of the domes there's kalas. Prasada Murda Kalas Opari. Kalas Upari. Kalas Upari. Even on top of the kalas, Nittarangi, something is always dancing. What is that? Barhikshate Bhuvijaya Dvajaketu Bhuto. Barhi means peacock. Ikshate, it is seen. Peacocks are seen dancing there. And what else? Barhikshate Bhuvi Jayadvaj. You know Jayadvaj. This is also just like Jaya Pataka. Jayadvaj means victory flag. But not just ordinary, but we Jayadvaja Ketubhuta, very, very extraordinary victory flag. In fact, when we're sitting, we've not seen peacocks dancing, but at least we can see that victory flag from Vrindakund flying, dancing on top of the kalas. Parikshate Bhuvidaya Dvaja Ketubhuto Nandi Saram Samaramannam Mudam Dadatu. May that Nandeshwar Parvat give me unlimited amounts of happiness. So now we've come to Nandagram. So this hill, just like Barsana was incarnation of Tulsi? Brahma. Everybody told you. So this hill is incarnation of Lord Shiva. He performed many, many thousands of years of penances. What type of years? Demigod years. You know how long demigod year is? Their day is 6 months of our year, and their night is 6 months of our year. And you take 360 of those days, that makes 1 year of the demigods, and thousands of those years Lord Shiva performed penances and austerities. Lord Krishna appeared and asked what benediction he wanted. He said, I know at end of Dwapar Yuga, you're going to display your pastimes in bread, so maybe I could become, a hill, or maybe a stone. He thought, maybe I'm asking too much, maybe just a stone, or just some dust. On the pathway, maybe some resident of Braj will come and step on my head. And Lord said, why become a dust or stone? You become a big hill, and my father will make his palace on top of your hill. So this is known as Nandeshwar Parvat. And Nanda Maharaja's palace is shining on top of that hill. So yesterday we were at another place, Nanda Maharaja's Betak. So Betak means sitting place. It also means place for having meetings. So one time Upananda, he called all of the coward men together in a Betak meeting. And he said, when he got all the Brishbasis together, I said, I suppose you're all wondering why I've called you here today. But you may remember that Garga Rishi, at the name-giving ceremony, he mentioned that this Krishna is not an ordinary child. He may be some elevated demigod. He may be even expansion on Lord Vishnu. Garga Rishi hinted that he would have qualities exactly like Lord Vishnu. So, in view of all of these things, and we've seen that he's an extraordinary child. He's killed so many demons that nobody could have possibly killed. He lifted up, 7 years old, he lifted this hill of Govardhan with his left hand. It's just impossible to believe all these things. So he must be some type of elevated demigod or yogi or something. So in view of all these things, it is imperative that Mother Yasoda stop pulling his ears, chasing him with sticks, tying him with ropes, calling him a thief, and all of these things like this. And Nanda Maharaj said, now wait a minute. I don't know what you're talking about when you say my son is some sort of elevated being. Because we see that even ordinary living entities, ordinary human beings, they can control their senses. But this Lala, he has to eat 50 times a day, and if the milk is not hot enough, if there's not enough sugar in the sweets, what a temper tantrum he gives. All day long he eats, he can't control it. Even Hiranyakashipu and Ravana, they were able to perform great penances and austerities, but this guy, all day long he eats and eats, he's never satisfied. Now this is the activities of a great personality? He's some demigod, you say? Then why is it that at nighttime when there's thunder and lightning in the sky, he comes running into my room and jumps under the covers with me and huddles up to me scared and frightened? Or if he has a bellyache, then he comes to my Yasoda, sits in her lap, and he cannot be satisfied until she cuddles him and coos all over him. This is a great demigod? This is some yogi? And talk about thief! There's no bigger thief in the whole of Braj. He's always stealing this, he's always stealing that, and what to speak of thief, he's such a liar. You ask him, did he eat mud? No, he didn't eat mud. Like that. You ask him, did he steal the butter? No, he didn't steal butter. Were you harassing the gopis? I wasn't even in the area. And to make matters worse, he brags about things he never did, and he lies about things he did do. I mean, he's just how can you say, if this is the way an elevated personality acts, I don't want to have anything to do with being an elevated personality. You just don't understand. And thinking about remembering all of these wonderful pastimes of Krishna, Nanda Maharaj, he lost his gravity. He said, he's such a rascal, you don't understand. He began to laugh, thinking about all those wonderful pastimes. He just started laughing. You don't understand. He's such a rascal. And all the Brishbasis, they all started laughing. And nobody could catch their breath, their bellies were aching. Everyone was just thinking about Krishna's wonderful pastime. finally somehow or other they managed to stop laughing, and then somebody everyone started laughing again and again, and they forgot what the meeting was all about. And why they'd all been called there. They were only remembering Krishna, and that's really the only reason we should call meetings together, just to discuss Krishna Katha. So this is Nanda Betak and Nanda Kund. Now just down the road, as we're coming to Nandagram, we're getting to Nandagram, there's a little place called Yasoda Kund. Because later we'll see there's a big place called Pavan Sarovar, but it's always filled with so many people and men and everything. So Mother Yasoda, she wants to have her own little private kund for bathing and during a puja. So she's got this little place called Yasoda Kund. Now just nearby is a place called How Bilao. So sometimes Mother Yasoda, she's sitting by Yasoda Kund, doing her puja or doing the laundry or something, and she told Lala, Dur kelan ma jao, lalban how I. The Lala, don't go kelan, don't go playing far in the forest, dur. You know, dur means very far away. Just like there's one forest of Braj, it's so far away, it's in South Africa, Durban. That is the Durban. So Dur Kelan Majao, don't go playing, don't go to Durban, whatever you do. Dur Kelan Majao, Lalvan, how I lal, in the forest, a how has come. And Lala says, oh Maya, what is this how? I never seen it anyhow. And Mother Yasoda said, he has great big eyes, and long sharp teeth, and big curved claws, and his mouth is so big he'll eat you up in one bite. So then Lala, he was frightened and he played close by. But since we know that little boys have such long memories, don't they? He again started going very far in the forest, and Mother Yasoda said, Lal, don't go far in the forest. How is going to get you? And Lala said, Arey Maya, I never seen any how. What is this how? I never seen it anyhow. And Mother Yasoda said, he has a big, great big nose to sniff you with, and big pointy ears, and big yellow teeth, and his mouth is so big, he'll eat you up in one bite. Then Lala again, he became frightened. So he played nearby. Then again, since little boys have such wonderful memories, he started again going far in the forest, and Mother said, Lala, don't go far in the forest, how's going to get you? Arey Maya, I never seen it anyhow, what is this how? Says Lala, he has huge black claws, and a big mane around his head, and yellow beady eyes, and long sharp teeth, and he'll catch you with those claws and tear you apart and eat you up. Arey Maya, you're just telling stories. I've been all over the place. I never seen such a being. Jamuna tat pe Denu charai, tene dekho how. I went all over the Jamuna tat, the bank of the Denu charai, with herding my cows. I didn't see any how. Bain patal Kalia dame, mabi na dekho how. I jumped in that Kalia lake one time. I went all the way down to Patala Loka. I never saw any how there. Anywhere I never saw this how. Then suddenly Mother Yasoda, she made her eyes very big and she said, well, don't look now, but here comes one, and she started running, and Lala started running, and Balaram started running, and all the cowboys all started running, and they all ran back to Nanda Bhavan, and Mother Yasoda bathed them and dressed them, and they sat down with Nanda Maharaj, and was seeing breasts. They told Nanda Maharaj how we just missed by a hair's breadth getting eaten by a how. So this is how Bilal. If you go there, there's so many hows are still there. I asked one Brishapasi, did you ever see a how? He said, oh, Paili Bote. He said, before there were so many. So, as we come up toward Nandagram, then on the right side there's a little temple of Nrsingadev. And this is the most sweetest little deity of Nrsingadev you'll ever see. Beautiful little yellow deity of Nrsingadev. That was Nanda Maharaj's personal deity of Nrsingadev. And now we go up to Nanda Bhavan. This is the palace of Nanda Maharaj. When Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came 500 years ago, when he was doing his Vraja Parikrama, he came to Nandagram. It's related there in Chaitanya Charitamrita. And he asked everyone, are there any deities in this village? And they said, on top of this hill there's a cave. Inside that cave there's a very strong man. And beside him there's a very dainty lady. And between them there's a small child. And it describes how Chaitanya Mahaprabhu climbed the hill. And you can see the picture is there. He began to caress the body of that beautiful child. Because now we go there, we see Nanda Maharaj with a big pagri, a big turban on top of his head, and little Mother Yasoda beside him. And we see Krishna and Balaram, both are there. And if you see them, they're both dressed exactly the same, and both of them are black. Because Balaram is the older brother, he likes to protect Krishna, so he smears black kajal all over his face so that he looks just like Krishna, he dresses just like Krishna. Now the reason the Brishbasis have told that they're dressed exactly the same is that Krishna and Balaram, they're just few days apart. That Purnima, that Balaram Purnima, that's the last day, that's Shravan Purnima, the last day of the month of Shravan. Then Bhadra month comes. And on the 8th day in the month of Bhadra, Astami, that is Janmastami. So just hardly a week apart. So they're almost like twins. And we see even in this material world, sometimes when people have twins, right, they dress them both the same, isn't it? Now the other reason the Brishbasis told me is that if they dress Krishna and Balaram differently, then they just fight. No, I want Dauji's turban. No, I want Lala's sash. No, I want his dhoti. No, I want his flute. No, I want his shirt. No, I want his... They just fight each other. So they dress them exactly the same. All these different bhavs are there for seeing Krishna and Balaram, all dressed the same. And then we'll see on our left side of the altar, in a little corner, we'll see Srimati Radharani is there. Now why is she in Nandagram? Because one time, Durvas Muni, we heard about Durvas Muni before, this big fierce sadhu, big jata on top of his head, big long beard, carrying his stick for putting on the ground and chanting his japa. He has this funny stick in his hand. So he came to Braj, and all the gopikas, when they saw this fierce sadhu, they all ran away except for Srimati Radhika. And she told Baba, Beto, Baba, sit down, Baba. And then she made a little chula. Chula means little oven. You go in Braj, you'll see, they just, even here you can see in the village, they just, little clay like this, they have a little place where they put the twigs in like this, and they put their pots on top and cook like this. But she made just a little play one out of clay. And then she made little pots and pans out of clay, and she made little clay puris and little clay ladus, and all things she just like little girls sometimes they play like their kitchen. They're doing kitchen. So even in village they play like this. So she made all these little clay things, and she brought a little thali to Durvas Muni, and she told him, Lelo Baba, take Baba. And Durvas Muni thought, well, she's just playing, He said, no, that's all right, Lali. It's okay, Lali. It's okay, Lali. No, Baba, Lelo. And she took one of those ladus, those clay ladus, and she pushed it in Durvas Muni's mouth. And when Durvas Muni tasted that laddu, it was so sweet and so incredible and so luscious and just melted in his mouth. And just from his heart he gave benediction. When we give benediction from the heart, that is very, very powerful. We always want to get benediction from our superiors. That's why you see in India, the little children, what do? They come in the morning, they bow down and touch their parents' feet. So automatically they feel very happy in their heart, and they get, Oishman Bala, that you live for a long time. So Bhaktivati Baba, you become very fortunate. like that. So that benediction that comes out from the heart, that is very powerful. And he was so happy. He said, Lali, whatever you cook, that will be just as sweet as nectar, and anyone who tastes your cooking will never suffer from any disease. So when the Brijbasis heard that Radharani got this benediction from Durvas Muni, they all love Nandalala more than their own sons. Now generally we like our own children more than others' children, but this is a special feature of Braj, that the Brijbasis, they like Nandalala more than their own child. So when they heard this, they all insisted, because the parents are always worried about their children. Oh, we don't want to go to Kumbh Mela, they may get cold and get sick and get bronchitis and who knows what. Or when you're coming here, right, and you're told your parents are going to India, they said, no, there's so many diseases, and you're all very happy here, aren't you? But all your grandparents told like that, don't take her there, she's going to get sick, and this and that, so many. They're always worried about the children. This is a parent's nature. But they worry more about Nandalala than their own parents and their own children, and they thought if he eats Radharani's cooking, he'll never get any disease. That means he'll live for a very long time, will enjoy his association for a long time, will be very, very happy. So they all insisted against Mother Jatila and Sister Kutila's objections that she come to Nandagram to cook every day for Nandanandan. Oh, this is generally not the proper etiquette that someone goes to another man's house and cooks. But anyway, this is going on. So Radharani's there in the corner. One time, she cooked very nicely. And she decided to stick around to see how Nandanandan was enjoying her cooking. So she was peeking just from the corner of the window. There's a special room where all the cowherd boys sit down, and Mother Rohini and Mother Yasoda, assisted by Denista. Denista is very, very clever. She always somehow or other makes sure that she gets some of Krishna's chewed remnants and ties it in the corner of her sari to take back to Javat. So they sit all the cowherd boys down and they serve them out. So Radharani was peeking there. That day she made Manohar Laddus. You know Manohar? Har means to steal away. And Mana means the heart. Heart enchanting Laddus. Manohar Laddus. So she was very anxious to see if Nandanandan will enjoy them. So Nandanandan, he also saw that Srimati Radhika is peeking from the corner of the window. From the corner of his eye he saw. And he saw there's these nice laddus on his plate, Manohar laddus. So he picked up one of those laddus. Very dramatically, he popped it in his mouth with a big smile, and then suddenly, he made a horrible face. Radharani was so frightened. So then he slid all of those laddus over onto Sridham's plate. Now Sridham saw that all of Lala's laddus has come on his plate. Immediately, ping, 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 he began eating them like this. Then Radharani, oh, this rascal is just teasing. And the special feature of Radharani's cooking is that when she's in Javat, she's in the Biraha Agni. You know Biraha? Separation. Agni means fire. The Gopikas, they make nice bed just to satisfy her and cool her down. Beautiful little bed with jasmine flowers and malati flowers, and they put chandan paste on it, and as soon as Radharani lies down, it all turns into dust from the fire of separation. But when she comes to Nandagram to cook for her beloved, she sits down, the Gopikas have come, and there's 50 little chulas, 50 little ovens, all burning bright, everything's all chopped up and ready to go. She just has to sit down and cook, and she sits down in the middle of 50 ovens, and she's so cool and calm and happy to be in Nandagram, in the village of her beloved, that not even one bead of perspiration comes on her forehead. Not one bead of perspiration comes on her forehead. So this is a very auspicious place, Nandagram. And so many wonderful pastimes have taken place here. Down below is Pavan Sarovar. We told this story in Kumbh Mela, just to prove that we didn't come here for taking bath. We were there for preaching. Because Pavan Sarovar has a very interesting history. One time, Nanda Maharaj, he excavated this huge lake. When a kund gets too big, then we call it a sarovar. So that was known as Nanda Sarovar. So one day, again Lala saw that Mother Yasoda is making all kinds of funny bhojan today. Just like we've heard before, all these little fried things and maybe some nice muri with peanuts in it and so many things and all these funny things. And Lala went, Maya, oh Maya, what kind of funny bhojan are you making today? What kind of funny bhojan are you making today? Lala, your Baba is going on pilgrimage. Acha Maya, and where is he going? Where is Baba going, Maya? Where is he going? Lala, he's going to Prayag. Acha Maya, where's Prayag? Where's Prayag? Oh Lala, you asked too many questions. Go ask your Baba. So he went, Baba, Baba, oh Baba, Baba, where are you going, Baba? Where are you going, Baba? Lala, I'm going to Prayag. Acha Baba, and where is that, Baba? Where is that? Lala, this is a very, very special holy tirth where Ganga, Jamuna and Saraswati join together in Sangam. When two rivers join together, we call it Sang. Just like that one is called Triveni because three rivers are coming together. It's called Triveni Sangam. Just like we're all sitting here for hearing Krishna Katha. So this is Satsang. We've all sung, we've all come together for hearing Satsang, hearing eternal knowledge. Krishna Katha. Acha Baba? But Baba, today you shouldn't go. You should go tomorrow. Today is a very inauspicious day, but tomorrow is Akshay Tritiya. On your calendar, Vaishnav calendar, you'll see beginning of Chandan Yatra. This is Akshay Tritiya. Comes in the summertime. Beginning of the summertime, Akshay Tritiya. And Akshay. Shai means to diminish. So Akshay means that which never diminishes. So this is a very, very special day for starting anything. Like Lala's telling Baba, you go tomorrow, it's Akshay Tritiya, it's a good day to start your journey. So people, they start their business on that day. They have a big festival to start their business. They do Griha Pravesh on that day, first entrance into the house. If you want to come to Nandagram to see the festival, then you have to book your taxi a long time in advance because that day everybody's booked the taxis for marriages. Because they also want Shai, Akshay, that should not go down, that should go happily ever after. So there's so many marriages done on that day. So, Lala told Baba, you should go tomorrow. So Baba said, all right Lala, since you're asking, I will go tomorrow. So next day, Nanda Maharaj, he went down to Pavan Sarovar to take his bath early in the morning, about Mangalarti time, like he did every day. When he got there, he saw there was one great big personality just rolling in the dust of Braj and laughing. Wah ha ha ha! Wah ha ha! Then he would take bath, then he would roll in the dust and laugh. Ha ha ha! Then he would take bath like that. He never saw this person before. He came there every morning. He went there and he said, Maharaj, who are you? He said, Baba, I'm Prayag. And Baba said, Prag? I don't know any Prag around here. Not from here. Arey Baba, not from here. I'm Prayagraj, the king of all the tirths, where Ganga, Jamuna, Saraswati join together in Sangam. Acha? Is it? And why have you come here? Arey Baba, all year long everybody come and putting their pap on me. You know pap? Sin. Just like in West, we call father Papa. Oh, Papi. Papi means sinful. Papa means sin and Papi means sinful. Now in India also, Papi. So, Pap means sin. He said, everybody putting their Papa means, so one day in the year, on this Akshay Tritiya day, I come here, roll in this dust of Braj, take bath in the Sarovar and become Pavana. You know Pavana? Pavana means purified. Acha? Is it? Then he looked on the other side of Pavan Sarovar. He saw so many beautiful ladies were there, with so beautiful, costly silk saris, with so much gold embroidery. Not like his simple, although they also have gold embroidery, but not like that. It was very different type of, and ladies he never saw before, all rolling in the dust and laughing and taking bath in the kund. And so he went over there. He said, "Matajis, who are you?" Somebody said, "I'm Godavari." Somebody said Narmada. Somebody said Ganga. Somebody said Saraswati. Said Kurujangala. Somebody said Kaveri. Like this, all the sacred rivers of the universe were there. And he said, "Matajis, why have you come here?" "Are Baba, all year long, everyone putting their pap on us. We come here this one day, this Akshaya Tritiya day. We roll in this dust of Braj. We take bath in this Sarovar, and we become Pavana, purified." Acha? Is it? So then Nanda Maharaj, he took his bath. He went back up to Nanda Bhavan. By that time, Lala had woken up. He said, Baba, now you're going, Baba? Now you're going? Baba, now you're going? Arey, Lala, now I'm not going. Acha, why is that, Baba? Why is that? Lala, every place I wanted to go. They all came here today, so I should take trouble to go there. So after that, this Sarovar became known as Pavan Sarovar. And so by taking, we don't have to go all the way to Kumbh Mela to take bath. We can just go to Nandagram, take bath, and even Prayag goes there to take bath. So we weren't there in Kumbh Mela for taking bath. We were there for bathing everyone in the nectar of the holy names, and the nectar of Prasadam, and the nectar of Srila Prabhupada's books. 3 things we were doing. So that's Pavan Sarovar. Then a little ways down from Pavan Sarovar, we find another little place called Brindakund, where Vrindadevi eternally resides. We saw Vrindadevi where? In Kamyavan. But that Vrindadevi came from Vrindavan town and to Radhakund, then to Kamyavan, and then when Govindadev went, she remained there. But the eternal place where Vrindadevi resides is here at Vrindakund. In Bhakti Ratnakar, which is the original book about Vraj Parikrama, when they're going, then he says, just see on the western side of Nandagram Parvat, the place where Vrindadevi remains and organizes all the wonderful leelas of Braj. So Vrindakund were directly on the western side. Because that day, 21st March, coming up, and 21st September, when day and night are equal, if you're sitting right in front of Vrindadevi's temple, you can watch the sun come up directly behind the temple towers. So sun comes up where? In the east. That means we're on the western side. Just on the western, exactly on the western side. And we can watch, we hear about the sun moving north and south, but we live in big cities, we never see. But there you can watch that the sun goes all the way across Nandagram Hill to this side in the wintertime, and in the summertime comes all the way back, passes Nandagram Hill, goes way over on this side. It moves like this much. That much arc, you can watch it move every day coming in. But that 21st March and 21st September, the whole sky becomes pinkish, just like Radharani's lotus feet. Then suddenly the whole sky becomes golden like Mahaprabhu. And this big orange orb appears, right silhouetting. The temple is completely blacked out, and you just see this big orange orb behind it, coming directly behind. The next day it moves. Every day it moves like this. Then it stays over here for some time, coming up, then gradually comes back very quickly, goes over here, then stays over here for some time, and then comes back. So here Vrindadevi stays and arranges all the pastimes of Braj. And she has got one beautiful parrot named Daksha. And Daksha, he has 100,000 of disciples. And they fly all over Braj and come back and tell Vrindadevi everything that's going on. So this is the BIA, Vrindadevi Intelligence Agency. She knows everything that's going on, who's talking to who, who's going where, who's with whom, like that, everything that's going on, and therefore she can arrange all of the Leelas of Braj. And this she does. Sometimes people criticize, no, it's Purnamasi, but Purnamasi is the guru, she's the guru of all the Brishbasis, and especially of Vrinda Devi. So we see the guru, what does he do? He just sits, right? The disciple runs around. So Vrinda Devi, of course, it's all going under the direction of Purnamasi, but Vrinda Devi, she's the one that runs all over the place and arranges everything, and she keeps little go-downs here and there. And she decides what color the flowers will have, what scents they'll have, what songs the birds will sing, what birds will be there, what trees will be there, what flowers will be there, what people will be there, what roles they'll play, everything, and she keeps little go-downs all over Braj. Sometimes it's very hot and Krishna needs a big turban, and immediately, boom, she comes out with a big turban. Sometimes Krishna wants to dress up as the Gauri deity, so then she's got a little warehouse where she's got yellow paint and a big red sari, and Krishna dresses up like the Gauri deity, like this. All over Braj, she arranges she's like the supreme temple commandress of Braj. And she stays here in this place at Vrindakund, very, very special place. Somehow that is just like we see her expansion is Tulsi Devi. The same way that Radharani expands herself as all the Lakshmis, so Vrinda Devi expands herself as Tulsi Devi. And we see that Srila Prabhupada, he made Tulsi Devi famous all over the world. And we see also that Srila Prabhupada, he made Lord Jagannath famous all over the world. So we see that Jagannath, we were just at Jagannath temple the other day, this Jagannath temple came to Srila Prabhupada. So in the same way, he made Tulsi Devi or Vrinda Devi famous. He made Vrindavan famous all over the world. So this Vrinda Devi temple has come to ISKCON, and we're trying to do a little seva there. In fact, right now construction is going on. Even I haven't seen, I've been at Kumbh Mela, I'm so anxious to get back and see what's going on. Little tiny temple, because this is out in the forest, a very peaceful place. Just like I was talking to my godbrother Tulsi Das the other day. And I was saying, have you been to Vrindavan? He said, no, this is my place. It's nice, and of course it's developing here, but here it's nice and peaceful. And I just remember Vrindavan from the old days, when Raman Reti was way out in the middle of nowhere, and people wondered why you're building a temple out there. So I said, well, that's why I'm developing this little Vrindakund place. We can go, you can sit there, and just, it's always so peaceful, and you hear the birds and the kokilas, and the dogilas. Then we got this funny little one. She's completely black with a little white breast, and she walks always around the kund, and she makes the funniest sound. You hear them also over here by the kund. And whenever two of them meet in the morning, that sound is practically imitatable. Huh? And of course we have the doves chanting Radhe Sham, Radhe Sham. And then that very bright blue bird, you've seen that blue bird that looks, all of a sudden he just leaps up into the air, and you see this iridescent blue flash like that. This is a kingfisher. And he goes much faster, I can't do it, but
what is it called?
Kingfisher. And then there's one that's a striped pied fisher. He looks just like a zebra. Black and white stripes, and he comes and they just sit there right over the water, completely stationary without even moving, And all of a sudden they pull their wings in and just boom, and come up with a little fish and go sit in a tree and boop. So all these little things we're trying to develop this place like that. So this is Vrindakund, where all the pastimes are arranged. So we just heard about how Purnamasi was the guru of all the Brishbasis, and we were telling one story yesterday, that I said I would finish today, when Pili Pokar, Radharani washed her hands, and they all understood what that was all about. So then Vrisabhanu and Kirtida, they sent this huge tray of jewelry back to Nandagram. When everyone saw this big tray of jewelry coming to Nandagram, then they understood this means that the betrothal has been accepted. And all the Nandagram Vasis began dancing in ecstasy, and they all ran up to the palace to congratulate Nanda Maharaj and Yasoda, and they saw this messenger came with this huge tray of jewelry, and everybody was there. And Lala was wondering what in the world is going on, and Mother Yasoda, they were looking at this huge, and they said, my goodness, look at all these jewels. Each one of these jewels is worth a king's ransom. Now we have butter and milk and we have some jewelry, but where are we going to find some jewelry to give in return? Because now they've given something, so then the system is, and they have to send back some gifts to acknowledge their acceptance of the betrothal. So Lala, he was listening to all this, but then all of a sudden, while they were worrying out loud, they suddenly saw that their whole house was filled with guests, so they began taking care of the guests. So Lala, he was also worried, so he began to pluck all of the jewels out of all the jewelry, all the pearls and diamonds and rubies. He just plucked all the jewels out. And he went out into the field that Nanda Baba had just plowed that morning. And he planted all of the jewels in that field. Meanwhile, after everyone left the palace, they turned around, they looked, they saw all the gold and silvers there, but all the jewels had been plucked out. They know there's only one person who can do such a thing. And when Lala came into the house, Nanda Maharaj said, Lala, we'll give you so many milk sweets and lots of nice soft butter, and you won't get any trouble. Just tell us one thing. What happened to all the jewels? No, Baba, I'll tell you what I did. I'm not trying to hide anything. I heard you talking. So I took them and I planted them in the field. Arey Murk, foolish boy, don't you know? Pearls don't grow in the ground. They come from the ocean. No, Baba, this is Braj. I know they'll grow. Come on, Baba, come on, come. And he took Nanda Maharaj by the finger. He said, come on, Baba, let's go, Baba, let's go, Baba. So they went there just a little ways from Nandagram. There's a place called Muktakund. Mukta means, or Motikund. Mukta in Sanskrit means pearl. So this in Hindi we say Motikund. So this is Motikund. And they came there, and so many little creepers were growing, and so many beautiful jewels and pearls and every type. They collected so many jewels and had them set in gold and silver. They had to send a whole bullock cart back to Barsana to acknowledge the acceptance. So in Barsana they saw this bullock cart full of jewelry coming. They knew that everyone was so ecstatic that just imagine, we're going to get Brisabhanu and Kirtida as our relatives. They'll become our in-laws and everything. Oh, Mother Yasoda and Nanda Maharaj will become our in-laws. Everyone was so ecstatic and so happy. Meanwhile, we were on the western side of Brindadevi's place. On the eastern side is Purnamasi's place, Purnamasi's Gufa. And Purnamasi, she was sitting there watching how this whole thing just by itself, it just sort of unfolded. This pastime, even beyond her control. She said, what in the world is going on? How, if Radha and Krishna become married, then the whole Leela of Braj is finished. We were singing the other day, Jai Radhe Jaya Krishna. What is that? Parakiya Bhave Brajete Prachar. This Parakiya Bhav, that is the essence of Braj. If she just becomes a husband, they just become husband and wife, then it's just like Sakyaras. It's just, there's no taste in the whole thing. All the sweet Madhurya pastimes will be finished, and she was just thinking, now what in the world? This thing just sort of unfolded all by itself. She began to meditate what to do. At that time, all the Brijbasis, they thought, let us go to Mother Purnamasi, because she's the Guru, and without the Guru's permission, they don't do anything in Braj. And whatever Purnamasi says, that's law. She's the Siksha Guru for all the Brijbasis. So, they went to Mother Purnamasi to get her blessings, seek her blessings for the wedding. And Mother Purnamasi, she began to think. And she pulled out her 500 megahertz computer, did her little astrological calculations. The configurations right now for marriage is very, very bad. It's not an auspicious time at all. And if we study the two charts, this time is also not, this is very inauspicious time for these two people. If they were married at this time, there'll be lots of fights, this marriage will never last. So I think we wait for a while, and then, because after all, they're just children. I mean, after all, they're just children. They're not at all marriageable age. I think we should wait some time. Then we'll call Garga Rishi here. He will give the final analysis of the whole charts. But for now, I think we just sort of shelve this whole idea of marriage, because they're just little children, and it's not an auspicious time. Their charts are not an auspicious place. In this way, she wound down all the enthusiasm of the Brajbasis and increased all of our bliss, because we get to hear all of these wonderful pastimes of Radha and Krishna. Otherwise, everything would have been finished. And we hear more about that tomorrow when we go to Javat. But anyway, we'll just stop on that theme right here. So, then, on the northern side of Nandagram, there's a very special forest called Asheshwarban. The place of Lord Shiva. Because we know this hill is incarnation of Lord Shiva. So when Nanda Maharaj, first they were living in Gokul, now he moved over here. So one day Lord Shiva came to get darshan of Nanda Lala. Lord Shiva, ye lal sa layak, Nanda Lala ka darshan hoga. He came with this lalsa, this idea, that I will get Lala's darshan. So, we know he's got his little damru. So Lord Shiva came walking up the path to Nanda Bhavan, playing on his damru. So Mother Yasoda, she heard all this racket. She came outside. She saw some sadhu was standing there, some yogi. His whole body was covered with rak. You know rak? Ash. Just like we saw in Kumbh Mela. All these babas, Naga babas, covered with ash. And on his neck there was samp, snake. And bichu means scorpion. And makari, spiders. So Mother Yasoda, she saw this horrible looking yogi there. She just slammed the door. And he said, but Maya, Are Maya, I came from very far away just to get darshan of your Lala. No. If my Lala will see you, will dar jayega. He'll become frightened. He'll become frightened. You please go away. No. Are Maya, I came from very far away. I came all the way from Durban just to get darshan of your Lala. No. If my Lala will see you, he will become frightened. You please go away. But Maya, I came here then I'm going to sit here until he comes outside. Then Mother Yasoda came outside. She said, look, Baba, I know all of you Babas. You only came here for one thing. That we described the other day, these nice thick rotis, with ghee on top of them melting away. She gave him a big stack of rotis. Now you take these rotis and go away. You're not going to sit here all day. You only came here for one thing. You take these rotis and be happy. So Lord Shiva, he went away. He became Nirash. You know Asha? You have any friend named Asha? Yes, somebody has. Asha means hope. So, but he became Nirash, hopeless and helpless. So he went to this forest, Asheshwarvan, because he became known as Asheshwar, the Lord of all hopes, because he was keeping a very special hope within his heart. He was hopeless, but he was somehow hoping against hope, that somehow he will get Nanda Lala's darshan. So this is the king of all hope. So he became Asheshwar Mahadev. So he was sitting in the forest. Meanwhile, Lala, he knew that his best devotee, Vaishnavanam Yatha Shambhu, Lord Shiva is the best devotee of Krishna. He knew that his best devotee came, he couldn't get darshan. He began to cry. And Mother Yasoda, she tried so many ways, and all the gopis came and they tried so many things, and they tried and tried. Nothing would satisfy him. And finally there was one very old gopi who was very wise. And she said, somebody has put spell on your lala. In Hindi we say, nazar. Evil eye. Somebody has put evil eye, nazar on your lala. So who came here today? The Mother Yasoda said, well, Upananda came, and Sananda came, and one yogi came. Very horrible yogi with ash all over his body, and Sam, Bichu, Makri, all these things. He said, that yogi has put nazar on your lala. So where did he go? He said, I don't know. I gave him some rotis and sent him away. So then the Braja Gopis, they spread out all over the four sides of Nandagram looking for that yogi. Finally out there in Asheshravan, they found this yogi meditating there in the forest. And this Asheshravan is a very, very sweet place. It is a very, very dense forest. Even in the middle of the summer when it's so hot, it's always cool in that place, and there's nobody there, and there's a beautiful tank, their beautiful lake, their natural lake. Such a sweet little place. He was sitting there meditating. And all the gopis came and they said, Chalare yogi nanda bhava me yasmat mahabulave, baki lala ko nazar lagi to perai non karave. So, Chalare yogi, we know, Chalare yogi nanda bhava me yasmat mahabulave. Mother Yasoda is calling you. You just, somehow or other, rai means mustard. Somehow they take mustard oil and they make some sort of a preparation to get rid of that nazar. So you just somehow or other make the remedy to get rid of this evil eye. This spell that you've put on Lala. So they brought Lord Shiva there. Mother Yasoda opened the door. Lala saw Lord Shiva. Then he smiled. Then Mother Yasoda slammed the door. Again Lala started crying. She came outside. She said, Baba, now you got your darshan. Now you take back your spell. And he said, Maya, there's only one way to get rid of this nazar. So, but how? Tell me, what is it? He said, when your Lala will put his foot on my head, then the spell will be finished. And Mother Yasoda said, Sam, Bichu, no, nahi. Mother Yasoda said, nahi. Nahi means? And all the gopis said, ha. Ha means yes. In Hindi, when we want to say yes, we say ha. Sometimes I hear the people saying ha. One time I heard a whole conversation. First time I went on life membership preaching, we went to one life member's house. Phone rang, he picked up the phone. I personally witnessed this conversation. Ha? Ha. Ha? Ha. 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 Ji. Acha. Hey, ha, hey, ha. Namaskar. Whole conversation. So ha means yes. And Mother Yasoda said nahi. And all the gopis said ha. And Mother said nahi. And all the gopis said ha. So the ha is one. So then she opened up the door. She picked up Lala. Lala put his foot on the head of Lord Shiva. Lord